All right, it's Tuesday afternoon. It gets dark very quickly, so it's about 5:30. So I've just finished work and I'm wondering what's going to be tomorrow's video. So I said that I had got an antique sewing machine, and or even before I even get to this, I want you guys just to have a bit of a squiz around and see how bloody junky this is. I've accumulated so much shit. This is even to do with our manufacturing business as well. So I'm in the middle of sort of working out how our workshop's going to be laid out. You can see a couple of the cars over here. So yeah, I'm absolutely amazed at how much shit I've actually accumulated. I used to have a big shed. I don't have a shed anymore, so you know, it is what it is. But I've got this thing over here, and this thing I really don't care about. This is going to be the auto salon special. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to grab the seat to give it a go to reupholster it. So let's give that a go then. All right, here's the seat. Going to give that a go and retrim that. You can see it's a little bit ripped down here. Let's get it out. So it's a 12mm bolt and there's 4 of them. So let's get cracking. Oh. Hey. I just had some dinner, had a bit of Subway, bit of an express dinner you might call it. All right, let's have a look at what we've got. We've got some material, which looks like that. I've got some foam, got quite a lot of it, probably way too much. Anyway, so let's get that all ready. So I've got the seat in the car. Let's go get that. Here's my Mexican blanket. I'll probably just lay it on top of that and go from there. Back in the Big D. I'm getting a little sus on the door handle. I almost thought it wasn't going to open as I was leaving work. Now I'm noticing as I pull it up, I'm starting to pull up the door a little bit. You can see it's fallen just a touch. So I'll be up shit creek if this one breaks because the other one doesn't work. Yeah, that's a little bit harder than normal. So I'm gonna have to attend to that very, very soon, I think. Not my masks! Shit. All right, here is the seat. Let's see if I can bring this back. There we go, it's locked into place. Here it is. I'm looking at this for the first time, wondering myself how I'm actually going to do this. They're all in pieces. That looks like it's just like one long piece, one big piece there. And then they've stitched along there to give it that sort of, oh, it says like a groove in the foam. And that's all around there. So that looks like one piece. Then there's another piece over here. And then there's a shitload of pieces. So let's take it inside and let's have a closer look. All right, space is a premium here. So let's just see what we can do with what we've got. So I'm hoping that I can reuse all the foam. There, I reckon there's like a layer of foam just underneath, and this sort of just confirms it. I think the best way to go about this is to start with the headrest and then see whether we can experience a little bit of success with doing that. And then after that, we're going to take that apart and then separate that from that and then unpick everything. So let's, I really don't know what I'm doing. I've got no idea what I'm doing. I want to give it a go though, because I like projects. And I reckon it'd be a bit of fun if we can get it right. Bugger. Pop that off. Alrighty, here we go. Alright, here's what I'm thinking. I think that we should get our seam ripper and start unpicking this bad boy and see how we go. Alright, that's how it looks so far. That foam looks like it's in pretty good condition. Oh, well, there you go. Put that to one side. That's what the inside looks like. Might have actually been better to leave it on. Just easier to rip the seams when it's got a little bit of shape to it. Okay, there's your first template or pattern, whatever you want to call it. Try to remember which piece that is. And then there's two pieces over here. There's a plastic bit there. I don't know what I'm going to do with this because I don't think my sewing machine will be able to sew through that piece. So I don't really know just yet. Just going to give it a go though. Second piece, and this is the last piece here, and there's another bit of plastic here that's sort of holding everything in place. Better take a photo of that. Alright, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we iron our bits of material so we can draw a template or a pattern. Okay, so there's the first one. We're back. 7:48. All right. Donut. Okay. So I got my three pieces. The bottom piece, which I think goes something like that. The back piece, which goes obviously on the back, and then the front piece, which sort of goes like that over the top. Yeah, so when I unpicked this, I didn't see any foam underneath, so I think it's just material. Let me set up this machine. I reckon the hardest part about this is not making the template or unstitching, and I reckon those are the easy parts. I reckon the hard part is maybe not even the stitching. It's about lining everything up right, so when you get going, it actually lines up. I don't know what I'm doing, so what I've just done is I've sort of pinned it just so I could sort of see the shape and see how it's all going to work, and then stick that over the top there, and you'll see what I mean. Like, you've got to make sure that you start right so that everything all lines up. Obviously there's a centimetre that needs to be folded over or whatever, but like it needs to be sort of like that, you know, and that's obviously going to be super tight. So, and then of course you've got this bit here that sort of sits underneath, like so. So I'm pretty worried about stuffing this whole thing up by not lining it up correctly. So let me stare at it for a few more minutes and then we'll get going. All right, here's what I'm thinking. So this is inside out, and you have to sew it inside out. And it's like a little hat, and then you fold it the other way around, and then you plonk it on your thingo. So I've marked in the center. I marked where I think I need to have the fold line so it folds underneath the headrest. I'm a little bit concerned that I'm going to lose that center point because I actually have to start over here, and then I've marked this line over here where I need to start, and then do one big line all the way around. So, but if I don't follow around here perfectly, or my pattern's not quite right, then these aren't going to line up. So what I'm actually thinking about doing is just sewing this bit here. I've just got a paper clip there, sorry, a bulldog clip, and yeah, just sew a little bit there so it just stays together, and I can unpick it or I can leave it. I'll sew it a little bit further in than a centimetre, just so yeah, I've got space to actually sew it properly. So what I'll do now is I'm going to mark out my line around of where I'm actually going to sew around, and then what I've got to do is then, yeah, somehow match this part up and then go around that line there, and tucking that in there. So then it creates that shape. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Jeez. Alright, so a little bit there, and then so I'm gonna flip it over like so. So that just keeps a point of reference. Issue. It's all scrunched up. Alright, here's my first attempt, and it's just ugh. Have a look. So I sewed a little bit up the top to sort of hold it in place. And I started from this side here, but as I went round, even though I followed pretty closely, I started to go out a little bit, and you can see these little holes, and they're not quite right. It's more than a centimetre. And then what I found was when I went round, like I had this little bit here that was bunching up, and there's nothing I could do about that. So if I got round the whole thing, then it's like not really going to work. Honestly, I reckon the best way of doing this would be sew from the middle and then sew each side like that way, and then like that way there, and then that would work, because you're starting at the center point and then you're going to work your way around. So look, I'm going to unpick this bit here, and then I'm going to try what I'm thinking from there. And I know it's not quite right. You should probably just go from there all the way around, and then it should be okay, but I can't quite get it. So let's keep going. You're right. I think that's worked out better. We'll see how we go. All right, let's try to do the other side. Okay, looks like a bit of a mess, but let's see how it fits. Oh god. Reminds me of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface. Okay. 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 Ooh. 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 What do you reckon? Let me see if I can tighten this bad boy up. Boys. I've been manhandling this thing for like 5-10 minutes. I don't know, man. Would you pay money for this? Ooh, shit. Look at that. Is that acceptable? Could that be? I mean, you just call that part of the design, right? A bit of crinkle, isn't that something that you would see? You know, maybe get a heat gun on that bad boy. Boys, what's going on there? That needs to come down a bit, but if I pull that like that, what does that look like to you boys? I think we could be in the money there.